Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
Welcome back to The Good Brothers. That's Mike. I'm Alex. We are The Good Brothers. Say hi to the folks, Mike.
Hi, folks.
How's it going? Are you awake from that sleepy-ass Super Bowl we got?
Yeah, somehow I made it past the NyQuil Super Bowl 53, but we do have new Super Bowl champions, but the more things change, the more they stay the same, because your Super Bowl 53 champions are the New England Patriots. Your MVP is Julian Edelman. Good brother, we did not get a chance to watch the game together, so if you've missed my review, break down the entire fallout of Super Bowl 53, you can check it out in the archives and our past episode of Sports from the Couch. We will be having on some more guests, breaking down the game and breaking down the offseason that is going to be the NFL. But good brother, you were in the loo with the little kids dominating like you guys always do. How did that go, first of all?
Good. A lot of teams won. It was great. So I was driving back during the game, and I told you right for something, like, I guess this was the right game to miss.
Yeah.
Because I had the updates going, and I was more, me, trailers.
Sure.
So, I'm watching the trailers as they pop up on Twitter. I'm checking the score. And you start realizing, you're like, man, it's been 13-3, like 13-3,
It was
10-3,
3-3.
Yeah. And you're just like, wow, like, is my phone broken, or like, is some? And you start seeing all the comments on the internet, and I didn't miss much. So I come home, watch the highlights. Julie Edelman is the highlight, I guess.
Yeah,
Gronk had a few nice things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, I'm happy for Tom Brady, Julie Edelman. That's cool. I think it's fun to see such a dominating greatness and dynasty like Tom Brady officially has become the number 2 GOAT of all time.
Yeah, right before Jordan.
It's Jordan Brady now.
Yeah.
And then Tiger. Like, he bumped Tiger. He bumped Ali. Like, Tom Brady is the secondary GOAT. I don't think – if he wins 7 –
oh, my – he could do
maybe.
it. Yeah.
And maybe – I think he needs another MVP in there too.
Maybe. 7 rings changes everything,
an MVP
man.
and another ring would help. I still think he needs another MVP because Jordan was the MVP almost every season. He did win. But anyway – it was fun. The game was fun.
And there's a lot of stuff that came out of Super Sunday. We're going to hit on some of the commercials that we liked. Obviously, the treasure trove that was trailers. And, of course, we'll finally circle back and review Punisher and a little bit of Batman casting rumor and innuendo. Alex actually watched a movie that got snubbed in the Oscars.
Snubbed.
So much so that he texted me at 2 a.m. to tell me, you better watch this movie. We will be talking about Blind Spotting in just a little bit. But why don't we hit on Maroon 5, SpongeBob SquarePants, and Super Bowl 53 being programmed by a bunch of different people, including the WWE having their halftime heat, and obviously Animal Planet with the Puppy Bowl. Did you catch any of halftime heat over the last few days?
No, I didn't. I saw the highlights. It was fine. It's Spot Fest,
Yeah, it was a really good Spot Fest. And a really good
but they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
The whole Super Bowl was very lackluster because I did watch halftime. It was kind of dumb. I'm a grown man that got upset that we didn't get the SpongeBob continue. Like, it was worse that you teased me. You might as well just not done it, and I would have been cool with it. And been like, whatever, they never were going to do it. Instead, you did it, but, like, you were the biggest, CTs out there.
Yeah.
And it's worse. Like, you leave with, like, blue balls. You're like, wow, that's, like, so unappetizing.
Yeah.
Like, could you not have given us, like, at least a minute of the song, and then we would not have said a word, and it probably would have gone down as one of the best Super Bowl halftime shows. Just for SpongeBob.
And it was funny, it's CBS, so I would think Viacom owns Nickelodeon. So I may be wrong, this may be a few years old already, but I would think they would own the rights to that song.
Nickelodeon's all over the place.
Yeah, I don't want to make that.
Especially the last 10 years, it was.
But for the longest time, it was CBS Viacom, so I don't want to.
I thought it was NBC company.
It might be, but the idea is they could have afforded for 30 seconds. But so let's get a little bit into the halftime show. If you listen to Sports from the Couch, I mentioned I didn't watch the halftime show live. I actually watched Halftime Heat live, but then I went back to just kind of see what Maroon 5 did the SpongeBob thing. Look, you guys, I like Maroon 5.
We're Maroon 5 supporters at this network.
Because Alex mentions it all the time. There's different chambers of people, echo chambers. So a lot of diehard sports fans think Adam Levine isn't a superstar. The fact is, to the regular rest of the world, the rest of the population, he's the main guy on The Voice right next to...
He's got the biggest bromance in the country with Blake Shelton. He puts a song out that was #1 in the summer with Cardi B.
He's best friends with Jonah Hill. They have commercials for their Oculus in front of
John Legend commercial with Pampers. Who doesn't love John Legend and Chrissy Teigen? He's very popular. And you may be a little insecure that he's red man. He's a gorgeous man.
Keep his shirt on. You guys don't need to take your shirt off.
I don't really care either
Yeah.
way. I don't care either way. I really don't care.
Yeah.
I was fine with Janet. I was fine with this.
I get it. Yeah,
we
yeah,
live
yeah,
in a world like that where
yeah.
that is an issue.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm not.
get it.
We're not going to get involved in that
No,
issue.
right. But
that is not
it's a funny
enough
joke.
of politics to
Yeah.
get into it.
Right.
That's so dumb.
But shout out to Adam Levine though. Like they did
He's
it.
fine. It was a terrible halftime show.
Yes.
His presentation wasn't great.
No.
And again, Maroon 5, maybe for some people isn't the biggest thing. I think the name alone is fine.
Maybe for the Super Bowl, maybe not.
Maybe you should have thrown someone else in there. I didn't like last year's with Justin Timberlake either, honestly, because I felt like you should have done more in sync.
But I get it.
We haven't had a really good halftime show in a few years.
No, I agree. And being in Atlanta, I would have loved to have seen Outkast. They did bring out Big Boy, but it's just one of these things
What
where
Andre 3000?
Yeah,
so who does? I was like, wait, who's Big Boy? Oh,
Well,
no, I don't want that.
And Travis Scott, I get it because of the young generation, but there's so many great young up and coming artists. That
It's
could've
a
been
bad
better.
year when Travis Scott kind of gets the most hype.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, so that's who we're playing to, and that necessarily might not be the best audience to play to by itself.
Yeah, especially for the market.
The whole show was very I like when they do older stars with younger stars. Like, you can do that, I feel like, and that's when you get the most legendary performances.
Well,
I get it. Like, I totally am for give the young generation something you want. I'm not an old man. But I still feel like this is a worldwide event. You can put 3 different generational stars.
And this is where I wanted to get into. A lot of people want to compare it to the NBA. The thing about the NBA is, first of all, the NBA is a players' league. So obviously it's a core league. Like, these guys know what the best fashion is. I mean, the NBA, I mean, the best meme is
when you make friends, it means something there.
It's
like,
different.
You got people using helicopters and Kevin Hart and
my favorite thing is
Jack
like
Nicholson.
if you look at I'm forgetting his name right now. It will come into my mind in a little bit. But the player who plays for Boston, the white guy from who used to go for played for Butler and was drafted by Utah. I'm skipping on his name right now because I have so many thoughts going on. But there's a funny meme of him when he was first drafted from Butler in Indiana to the NBA. And, like, he gets a cool fade, and he gets a cool fashion deal.
NBA players are cool.
NBA players are cool.
They're fashionable. They're cool.
Look at
and
their
like,
halftime show. Look at their NBA finals. They get cool performances because they're plugged in. Opposed to the NFL, which they were trying to be safe. And the Kaepernick stuff is something that's out there.
and
It's clouding.
To be honest, even in college national championship with Imagine Dragons, Lil Wayne was better.
Right.
And that wasn't great,
and Imagine
but
Dragons
it was better.
And Imagine Dragons are literally created for commercials and like promotion stuff.
I
Like
hate people because I love Imagine Dragons.
I'm not mad at them.
And now to find out they're modern day Nickelback, I'm like, I get why I love them now, but I hate that analogy.
Gordon Hayward is the player.
Why did we forget Gordon
I couldn't
Hayward?
get my name. Because we have so many thoughts in our heads about different
Well,
things.
because we got to get to those some good commercials. I would say like just normal commercials, not movie commercials. I liked maybe like the NFL 100 was perfect.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. But if you're missing any other thoughts and you want to break it down any further before we get into the offseason, make sure you guys stay plugged in on the network with all our guests and our thoughts of Super Bowl 53 and the fallout of the big game heading into the 2019-2020 in the NFL season.
Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado2121. Mike is at Mike Mercado 2333. And our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado21Alex. And Mike is at Mercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson.
It's another day at the office. I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones.
Orlando, how you doing,
How
buddy?
you, sir? I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. All right, good brother. You mentioned it. The NFL 100 commercial arguably had the most hype leading outside of the Super Bowl, but there were some interesting ones. I think one of my favorites commercials, before we get to the awesome trailers that we got, one of my favorite commercials, because I don't think there was a lot of great commercials, but the one that surprised me was the Bud Light Game of Thrones one. That was fun.
But I like that was fine. I like the Bud Light one before it, where they get the corn syrup and they're going to every castle at the Coors Light castle. And the Miller, I'm like, that is so much shade for a Super Bowl commercial with such big companies. I'm like, respect. Like, that's a fun commercial because I didn't know they had corn syrup in them, honestly. Yeah. I just never looked at it. Now I look at myself and I'm like, probably should drink more Bud Light. They don't got corn syrup.
It worked, huh?
It worked. And I thought that was funny. Game of Thrones. So basically Bud Light.
Yeah. Chance the Rapper being with Doritos. I thought was kind of cool.
The Backstreet Boys one?
Yeah.
That was,
Boys,
I like it. Not as good as Peter Dinklage, Morgan Freeman, but pretty solid.
Pretty solid. Yeah. Very good work.
Honestly, like, yeah, they started off hot and they got worse.
Yeah. And then the weird baby robot one.
I just saw that one. I don't like it. Yeah, robots
weird.
scare me.
But just in general, yeah, there was a weird beer commercial.
The ESPN 100 was the best one.
The NFL 100.
NFL 100 with Tom Brady in the rings. Yeah. And I was cracking up. Like, I love that one.
Brian
that one's
Urlacher tacking Deion Sanders
just
into the table.
Him up.
Yeah, so some great stuff there.
You're going to go back and watch some like, oh, that's that guy. Or, oh, man, that's him. And, you know, get in there, old man. Hold these for me, kid.
For real. And this is
good.
This is what makes great marketing. It's this type of commercial where you got to watch it over and over again to get the little details, the little nuances. It's ingenious. The NFL doesn't do anything right, but they finally hit on something. You got to
think the NFL's like WWE sometimes where they need to build superstars. They know they're losing a few. And they, like, to have a Tom Brady almost passing the torch being like, listen, Tom Brady's almost out of the league. We kind of need another quarterback to be a face around here. Baker Mayfield is made to be a face of the NFL. Yeah. He's young. He's fun. He's talented. He's bringing back a dominant football team to Cleveland, which at one point was a dominant football city, and it's still pretty diehard. So those were fun players. Like, all the defense, all the old school. Like, obviously, you know, like just seeing the mixture and all the tackles and like, the Beckham Jr. with the one-arm catch. Like, it looked cool. It had good people, and it was
fan
fun.
Service, and it was great.
It was fan service to the max, and I love that. So that's my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. So unanimously, that is our favorite commercial. But then there were some banger of trailers, Alex, and we'll start off with Avengers Endgame. Captain America hasn't given up. He can't move on.
Don't bury the lead. Yeah,
and we look at. I think we'll break this down really fast. If you go online right now, people are kind of tuned in and are keen to Marvel's little tricks, and they're looking now for the spacing and stuff. So we do know that there is some weird spacing in some frame shots of that.
Yeah, which is either Iron Man or Captain Marvel.
I believe it's probably Captain Marvel.
Probably.
It could be both.
It could be both. Regardless, they're being smart. They're only showing us, they said, the first 20 minutes. Every scene you see is within the first 20 minutes, and it shows. Because that's all we need.
Yeah.
2, it's got a Leftovers vibe, which is one of the best shows HBO's done and very low-key, where, you know, in the Leftovers, 2% of the world disappears. And now you have to live on with it. So now this is half.
Yeah.
And I love how dark and gloomy it is. And it's like, we have to, like, how do we move on when just randomly, for no reason, half of the world is gone? Yeah. And you could be a family that lost one person, or you could be a family that lost
everybody.
You're the only one left.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I can't wait to see how they handle it. Because, you know, like, yes, Hawkeye probably lost his family, and Ant-Man lost all the people he loves.
And we know who Rocket lost, and we know who Cap.
Yeah, we know who everyone lost. So, you know, obviously we'll go more into when we get our second trailer, but it was fantastic 30 seconds.
It's so crazy. But moving on with some more Marvel stuff. Captain Marvel, a little bit more into it. I'm a little more hyped for it as we get closer.
What's funny is I'm the reverse of everyone on social media. I am way more hyped now, but have you heard the rumblings? They're like, the hype has gone down, and they're starting to lower the number for what they think it's going to make, and they don't know why. They think it's because Avengers.
It's Avengers.
That there's a lot of guys or a lot of people that are just like, I'll just wait for Avengers.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite. I'm with you. I'm like, yo, this looks like really fun to hold me over.
Again, I wouldn't miss Elimination Chamber before WrestleMania.
But I think it's kind of sucks that I do think the money will go down.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't think it'll make the money it makes. I think maybe we should have done a February release date instead of March.
Oh, I
you should have separated us slightly more.
I think Captain Marvel should have came out 2 weeks from now.
Yeah,
I think
I completely agree.
I think
that would have been perfect timing because now I do get what they say. I'm like, I just want Avengers. Like, I just need to end that before I start something new.
And Avengers will be here before
and honestly,
you know
there's
it.
been Buckleys. You're like, you could have done a Captain Marvel Oranges movie after Avengers.
Just over 60 days, Alex, and we'll be at Avengers Endgame. But Captain Marvel is going to be on strong, whether it makes all that money. We'll see. Yeah. Idris Elba has powers, but not in the MCU or DC with Hobbs and Shaw. So we know that that's coming out. I mean, whatever.
I haven't. When's the last Fast Furious movie you saw?
Fast 5. It's the one.
Yeah, the best one. I'll just end it there. Like in my brain, the franchise ends there, and I don't need to watch the rest.
Us came out with a new trailer. More
Good.
interesting. Yeah,
Just
can't wait
ready
to
to
see
see
more.
it.
How about this, Alex? Scary stories to tell in the dark.
We got 15 seconds. I don't know what that
But we got a bunch of. We got like 4 different 15
yeah,
seconds.
it's
things.
fine. Like I like the books, and I hope it's gonna be good, and it should be good.
It looks like it has
I
TLC.
need a little more to see.
Sure, but it looks like it has TLC. It looks like
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro put
yeah.
some TLC.
I just put him on Twitter. You know it does.
Twilight Zone.
Again,
That
we
commercial.
didn't see enough, and I'm not a fan of CBS All Access because they're already about to start shutting down and bundle it up. But this show has to be. I feel bad because the show has to be perfect.
Sure.
For it to come out of that CBS All Access and be like, no, this is a big deal. Because Star Trek didn't even do that. Star Trek's still kind of like, oh yeah, we barely got a season 2, and that's Star Trek.
Yeah.
So hopefully Jordan Peele is that magical where we get that. I don't want this to be the year where we're like, oh man, Us was not as good as Get Out and Twilight Zone was fine, but now we're paying for it. And that would suck because now it's a risk. Or it could be like, wow, no, he hits. He can't miss.
It's a great point where you mentioned that there is more now expectation. So with more expectation, there's a higher probability of failure, and people are going to be harsh on you and criticize on you. But in watching the game live, that trailer was awesome because the way they
I like the commercial. It's just they didn't give us anything, but. It's like we have Black Mirror, so this stuff's popular.
Speaking of Jordan Peele, Toy Story's 4 ad of Buzz Lightyear on the little thing and Michael Key Peele's character keeps picking him. The movie, I can't wait. I'm loving everything about this movie because it's appealing to everybody's heart. A cool Bo Peep, Jordan Peele and
I mean, the
Peele.
commercial was fine. I thought the commercial was kind of dumb. Because we didn't get anything beside another Jordan Peele and Kill commercial.
What are you looking for at this point, though? Like, I know
I would like a little story,
but...
a little setup. Okay. But like, I think what came out better was later they did the Tom Hanks interviews.
Yeah,
and that gave us more. I like those better because that gave us an idea of where the story's going, and it's basically him and they're like Woody and Bo Peep have grown different lives.
Yeah,
like Woody was loved in this, and Bo Peep might not have been. And did Bonnie take care of toys as much as we thought she was going to? Was the ending of Toy Story 3 as heartwarming? And he's like, maybe it wasn't. And then he pulls out the last 5 minutes of this movie. Yeah. I couldn't even look at him in the face. I'm like, you're going to crush us walking out of Toy Story 4.
They almost
more
did
than when you did. No, they did in 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they're going to do it more now. Yeah. So are we going to get toy deaf? Maybe.
We'll see. Wonder Park. A little animation. We'll see. But those movies always been
that movie's been buried because the director got in trouble for sexual misconduct. Yeah. They had to add people. They tried selling this movie to Netflix and it did not buy it.
Which, by the way, is now getting the Ted Bundy movie.
Which we want to talk about that.
Not Ted Bundy. Yeah, Ted Bundy.
You want to talk about that real quick? So that's been kind of an issue where people, because the Ted Bundy tapes came out and people are kind of mad at or not people. The very small percentage is like, oh, Netflix messed up their they're buying into this. I'm like, that's kind of what TV does. Like, it's popular. And I know people were mad at the Ted Bundy trailer. They were like, this is a little too fun and funky for us. But the early screenings say, no, guys, it's a messed up movie. Like, we're marketing like that, but no, trust us. Like, they did it justice. And the Ted Bundy tapes, if you actually go and do it, it's very victim-friendly.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I get people, they're dumb people that think Ted Bundy's sexy and this. And I'm like, but the episodes aren't. Like, they're not just... They're doing what they have to do. This is how it works, guys. Like, they have to sell it. Like, Law & Order has made several billion and several shows off being sexy murder mystery.
What's more skepto-hippo-wise to me is they released the confession tapes, and then a week later, after the hype and social media stuff, right when it's about to trail down, they released that they bought it. They bought the rights to stream this movie.
But
so,
I
like,
mean,
it was a
the
plan.
movie was being sold, so if it wasn't them, Amazon would have bought it.
Somebody would have bought it. So the idea is, though, it's like this was a plan. Like this, they were eyeing.
And guess what? I'm even better because now I will definitely see this movie.
Yeah, no.
And they paid what, $10 million?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a steal. And I heard they're going to release it because they believe that Zac Efron could get nominated for an Oscar.
We'll see. I mean, it's possible.
And I hear he's great. Early reviews say it's a good movie.
I still think they'll do one of the two things. They'll release it in theaters if it's good enough, and that they'll do both. They'll stream it on.
No,
Netflix,
they already have. They've announced that they are going to do that for the pure fact that they want to get Zac Efron the Oscar. This is from the studio.
You got. I mean, even if you think there's a chance, you have to do it. You have to. Alex, this is a show that you told me that you've given me some. You say I should probably watch it. You've given it some good thoughts. And Handmaid's Tale. It's a very messed up show.
That was a good trailer.
That was a really good trailer.
And it started off, and I was like, I know what this is. That's another one. Good trailer there. Yeah. It's a bit slow, but I think you know what? I binged 2 seasons very fast, and I think that may have been the mistake because I started enjoying it more when I started spreading out. Like I did a season and a half, and then I spread it out a little, and I started enjoying it more when it was like one every 2 days, one every week. I think when you shove it down, you start seeing a lot of gaps and openings of like, oh man, I'm bored.
Sure.
But no, I like the trailer. I like where it's going. It surpassed the bucket like in the first movie. So at this point, it's like, it's great acting, great writing. So I can't complain. Like maybe just it's certain shows you need to take differently.
So these are some of the trailers that really highlighted for us and were big spotlights in the Super Bowl 53 runtime. What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
another day at the office, I get to go out there and test my skill.
To award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones.
Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.
Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airways crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado2121. Mike is at Mike Mercado2333. And our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado21Alex. And Mike is at MMercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
There is something I wanted to get into, and it's a name we did not see, a trailer we did not see, for a franchise we've really not heard a lot about. No Star Wars.
Okay, let's be honest, people. If you thought there was a Star Wars trailer, you're not in the business.
Yep.
And that's fine, because most people aren't in the business. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, there's no Star Wars trailer. There was never going to be one. Nope. There was no rumor, because they're saving it for 2 months at their big celebration they're building up, where we're going to get 1 billion Star Wars news, facts, games, comic stories, books, movies. Where's that, Mike?
In the great city of Chicago, Illinois, home of the Bears.
Yeah, Mike, you should probably pay for me to go.
Yeah, maybe
send me with a little microphone.
Maybe the Good Brothers will make an appearance at Star Wars Celebration in 2019 here in the great city of Chicago. But now that we're talking a little bit of Star Wars, it is February. We obviously have to get through Endgame and Captain Marvel, and we have to go through Spider-Man, Shazam. There's a lot of great movies coming out.
Godzilla.
But we do know that Star Wars is coming out this year. When do we get... Okay, how about this? There's no way that we get the trailer without knowing the title first.
We'll get both at the same time.
That's what I was going to ask.
They're Avengers. It's Disney. They're Avengers. Like, hey, that worked out well.
Okay.
Let's release it Friday, May the 4th, whatever it is, the date, the fun thing they do.
Yeah, May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, so when they're going to do it then.
Okay.
They're going to release it. And then at the end of the trailer, we're going to get Star Wars, Revenge of Jabba Hutt.
I think it's Celebration's the week before that, though. I think it's in April.
We'll get it.
We'll do whatever celebration.
We're going to get a celebration.
All right, very cool. But that's pretty much it, Alex. Any last trailers or anything you want to hit on of Super Bowl 53?
No, that's about it.
All right,
Bud Light was good. Movies were good. Everything else was kind of mediocre. Didn't see any cool car ones that I like.
Well, there it is. Our thoughts, the Good Brothers' final thoughts of Super Bowl 53. Keep it on the Mercado Airwaves Network as we break down the big game and everything that's going to happen in the NFL. And us here at the Good Brothers will also talk about the biggest movies coming out of Super Bowl 53's hype train. Good brother, we haven't had a chance to do it because it was a busy time here at the network. But we finished Punisher Season 2, apparently the last Netflix Marvel show.
The last one.
Okay,
Disney Plus
so this is why I really wanted to make sure we circled back to it. Is this will be the last chance that we get to kind of discuss this type of show before it moves on, and if it's reincarnated in the Disney service, what the differences will be between the way Marvel handled, Netflix handled it, and so on and so forth. But as of right now, I remember when you first finished it, and we text. I thought it was a phenomenal season. It was probably my third favorite Netflix season behind Daredevil 2 and 3.
It's my fifth.
And I think that's fair because then it just shows like the rest of them are kind of like they're dispatched. Like there's obviously a list and then there's a drop off.
I think it goes to all three of the Daredevils.
Yeah, I agree.
Then Punisher Season 1, then Punisher Season 2.
And then half of Luke Cage.
I like combined of one season of Luke Cage put into 2 seasons.
And
I like the first 6 episodes of each Luke Cage season.
I can respect people who like Jessica Jones Season 1.
Wasn't my cup of tea, but it's fine. I like the Defenders personally. I thought there was a lot of good stuff in Defenders.
Iron Fist was horrible.
I didn't even watch it.
Horrible.
I'm not sad that it's done. I think it ended fine.
Yeah.
I think I like the way it ended because no offense, I don't want to see a whole season of him being that kind of Punisher.
Sure.
I thought this was the best character Punisher that we got the last 2 seasons of very real.
Yeah.
And I felt like toward the end, they're like, we're going to give you that comic book fun.
Yeah.
And that's fine to end it because they knew it was ending.
Yeah.
And I think they had, like, we can open it up again if we need to. I personally think I'm glad they don't. Like, I don't want to see over the top, the remake of Punisher movie style where it's like Bazooka, Man of Death. Like, I don't think that's the Punisher I want nowadays.
Yeah. No,
I thought I don't think that's Johnny Bernthal's Punisher. It feels forced to do that kind of style.
So do you think, though, this is this is me personally, but I want to ask you, do you think this is one of those shows that ended kind of the blessing is that it ended?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think another season 3, I think you go down more. Because
I agree.
Rating-wise, it went down, like 20 Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
It was very low. Yeah. It was the third lowest reviewed season of all the seasons. Because as much as we don't like Luke Cage, it gets very good reviews by because it is a very African American dominated show, and I get that. And those shows tend to do better, and like Iron Fist didn't do well.
Well, because
they hit a demographic.
Well, not just hit a demographic, they hit storylines that you don't get to see as much on cinema, and it's just so much more.
And I'll be honest, they have the best ensemble cast and the best music.
Luke Cage does, yeah.
I think I like those secondary characters more, so I could see that. The drama was always with Punisher is the gun violence.
Yeah, especially
if it's either your thing or not. I thought this season was brutal, like the gym fight scene. I always think we never get a good realistic gym fight scene, and that was so nasty. This the Irishman, I like that he was kind of like an anti-hero, just like Punisher. Where at the end I'm like, that's cool.
And
I
his
like
scene
that.
when he fights the gangsters and he has to readjust his jaw. It was disgusting. Really fast. It has a 50% from critics, but an 83% from audience. So audiences love Punisher Season 2, which makes sense again because if you're Alex, you talk about the gun violence and just kind of how it all works out. I could see why critics wouldn't like Season 2 as much as they like Season 1 of Punisher.
And it's fine. I think you're right. It's going to be a benefit that it ended when it did.
Now, before we move on to a movie that you highly recommend for the folks, one of the rumors, as we talked about last week, there's a few things I want to touch into in the DCEU. One, we know James Gunn will be directing Suicide Squad 2. He was offered Man of Steel, declined it, didn't want to do it. We know say our boy's name, Taika Waititi.
Waititi
will decline to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
And he had a great quote saying, it's like having a new dad come in and cook his food differently.
Yeah.
In the sense of like,
He's
I don't want to go in and remake what's already good. It's already tastes delicious.
Wonderful.
Why would I come in and change that when I don't have to? Like, and I agree with him. I think that should be a new. You shouldn't go within the family on that movie.
I
that
agree.
movie, you should just go hire someone new, because then I feel like it's gonna make us all feel like, okay, well, you were stuck. You did what you had to do. I'm fine with it. Back to our earlier remarks, Mike likes to throw a little shade in here. Henry Cavill did post several posts of him posing with Superman. I'm just saying, I don't think James Gunn turned out Superman. He even said he wanted an ensemble cast. That's why he chose Suicide Squad. And I mean, he is an ensemble writer.
No, yeah.
So, you know, I'm just saying, Mike, like, looks like, man, it's probably still happening.
No, I
and
don't think
I'll
it's
be
happening.
50% right about my Holy Trinity.
No, we would have heard of it about him.
No,
But
dude.
speaking of...
Witcher's coming out.
Yeah.
Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airways crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado2121. Mike is at Mike Mercado2333. And our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado21Alex. And Mike is at MMercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the opera. I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. Speaking of Holy Trinity, one of the rumors coming out for the Cape Crusader is Rob Pattinson. You may know him from, if you only, barely watch movies, you know him from the Twilight series, but this
Indy
man,
Darling,
he has hit hard, man. And you know why I see why I feel this might be real? It feels like a Batman casting. It's kind of starting to feel.
It totally
like
is,
it,
and
yeah.
I'm like, I love it.
So do I.
Because he's a fantastic actor, and it's not like who played Anakin.
Christian Hayden.
It's not like Christian Hayden, where it was like, he's not that good of an actor.
Sure.
No, this is one of those where, like, yeah, he did a franchise that made a bajillion dollars.
Yeah.
That was very popular. It was Harry Potter for vampires and stuff. I'm like, I would take that. Who wouldn't take that role?
No, of
he
course.
He was probably the best part of those movies, and like his co-star, where you're like, okay, the act is because limited. They were always like, no, he's fine. It's a stupid tween movie, but guess what? They were selling at the time. That movie, Twilight, was everywhere, guys. Like, we can try to be old men about it and like care about what these kids like, but Twilight was popular, and he's a fantastic actor. Indy Darling, that's a great Batman choice. Like, if they get that, I'm like, oh, done.
Yeah. No, he's somebody who's just kind of.
Armie Hammer got thrown in a lot recently.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
John Hamm. Like, those are the names popping up. So we guessed a few of those, and those names are starting to pop up more.
But it makes sense, though, because you could kind of see how they want. I think here's the thing though.
Strong chin. They want a strong chin like always.
But I'm still trying to figure out whether or not they have plans of merging the universes in the sense like if they're obviously they're going to make references, but are they ever going to go fooling like they did before? Because then they're going to worry about chemistry.
Yeah.
So then that's why I think somebody like John Hamm may be a little bit more different. They might be more willing to go with them. Rob Pattinson.
I think realistically, it all depends because again, I think we're going to get a Flashpoint at some point, that Untitled movie, and I think if you make this a standalone to start, then you worry about fixing it later, and I don't think people will care as much. Like it happens. Like one of the biggest characters in MCU is a different actor than when he started.
Yeah.
So Mark Ruffalo can do it. I'm sure. I think the look wise, Armie Hammer, John Hamm are more where they want to go.
I think so.
If they go Robert Pattinson, I'm like, okay, they're making moves singular.
They're making good
and
movies.
that's a good move.
Yeah.
Like they're just working on the Batman.
Yeah.
If they get one of those other guys, I'm like, they're getting someone that kind of looks like a Ben Affleck type with like a strong chin and big chest.
Yeah.
And that's fine if you need to do that. But that's going to tell you the direction they're kind of going of like, and we're not going to fix it too much, guys. This is Batman now. Alfred's the same. Commissioner Gordon's the same.
I'm excited though. I'm excited to see where they're
cool.
because like we'll see. But before we get out of here, Alex, you have a recommendation for the people. This is a movie that when you got to see snubbed from the Oscars, a lot of people believe it too, has a high rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So much love by the critics and by the viewers themselves. Alex, let's talk a little bit about Blindspotting.
So normally when I do this, like obviously before Oscar season, I like to watch an Oscar movie. Like I watched Vice last week and Roma a few weeks ago and so on and so forth. And we've talked about the other ones at theaters. So this week I was like, I'm going to pick a movie that got snubbed. Because I'm only a movie away. I'm like, I need to fill some time. Let me get a snubbed movie. And it was between Upgrade, which is said to be the best science fiction movie coming out in the modern day.
Of last year, yeah. Especially last year.
Or Blindspotting, which I hear is fantastic. And I literally picked, what's the shortest runtime? Blindspotting, hour and 40 minutes. I'm like, cool, I'm doing it. Mike, when I tell you, it's a comedy drama, more drama with just a lot of funny stuff.
Sure.
Fantastic movie, Mike. Like, it is just the messages, the acting, the directing. It's like director Carlos Lopez, Estradas, fantastic. He shoots this movie fantastic. It's a modern day Oakland, but it's real Oakland where it's like, no, like Oakland's not ghetto anymore. Like it's getting whitewashed.
Sure.
And they're rebuilding above it and the Raiders are gone. And, like this old school tendency to think in this hipster generation that's taking black culture and kind of making it cool when black culture is like, no, this is scary because we're getting shot. And it's this beautiful rendition of you have this, young African-American who gets basically screwed and thrown probation and his white friend who is an asshole and he gets basically nothing. And the actors are great. David Diggs and Rafael Casco are the leads and they're fantastic. And the messages are great. The reverse roles in it. And, there's just fantastic scenes. Like there's so much good in there and it shocks me because I'll tell you, like, I think that, what Black Klansman had over this movie?
By Spike Lee.
Because if Spike Lee directed this movie and it's the same movie, then we're hearing about these two actors getting nominations and this directing a nomination. And it's ridiculous because this is, I'll be honest, better than Black Klansman. It's better than Black Panther. Like, this movie should be talked about way more because it's more real and it means something. Like, there's a story to be told from several different angles. Like, it's a very appropriate story if you're African American, if you're not African American, if you live in Oakland, if you don't. And it's very real to the sense you're like, I see every point they're going after. And I can relate to one of these points as where I feel some movies are like, this is the one point.
Now, this is the director's first movie as a director.
Yes.
So there obviously he didn't have the name recognition.
And now he's on every list.
Now
he's getting on the list.
Yeah.
And
what's the Ryan Coogler effect? It's like Ryan Coogler.
He's like a young Ryan Coogler.
Fruitvale Station is one of the greatest movies that nobody saw. Michael B. Jordan was discovered in that movie.
It's a Netflix darling after a while.
Ryan Coogler directed a phenomenal movie, and it's because of that he got Creed and Black Panther.
And he built a star. So this is basically that version, I think. Like, I think these two guys are going to be big, especially Raphael, the white boy. Yeah. He's fantastic. He's hilarious. Yeah. He's fantastic. You're like, I could see he's pretty. You look at that and you're like, I could see this guy being a star. Like, you put him in an action movie, you're like, I could see him being an action star with all his tattoos.
So what we'll do is then maybe next week we'll go ahead and we'll do a full review and see why maybe instead of just discussing about the movie, maybe we'll look for reasons why it didn't get nominated, and we'll really break down a full spoiler review.
I mean, I think it just came out the wrong time.
So we'll see. Yeah, and we'll see if the studio doesn't believe in it. If it's
I don't
a small
think it was
studio,
advertisement.
Yeah, exactly.
Advertisement was we all were interested, but why? I think you're right. Why didn't it get seen if we were all interested and it got great reviews? So it's kind of like The Good Guys, where it's like, why did it not be successful when it was set up to be successful?
So we'll definitely talk about that in the coming up weeks. And about a lot of different movies that got snubbed in the Oscars. And we're getting really close to the Academy Awards, Alex, so we'll start getting the big board ready.
3 weeks?
Just about. We'll get the big board ready, and we'll start making our picks, and we'll try to make the people all the monies in the world like we did last year. But that's it, good brother. I think we've wrapped it up. Super Bowl week is over, and it is now time for Lego Movie 2. We have Captain Marvel. We have Endgame. Alex, it never ends. Pitchers and catchers report in just a couple of weeks. The NBA is about to get ready for its final push. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah. It never ends. WrestleMania is about to we're on the road to WrestleMania, so we'll be able to talk about
Elimination Chamber's coming up.
So we have a lot of things to talk about, good brother. Any last thoughts?
No, I think we're good. I think we're ready. It was a lot of little topics.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff, guys. But let us know, what was your favorite commercial? What are you looking forward to the most heading into the rest of 2019 in sports, pop culture, entertainment, and all that fun stuff? But for the good brother himself, Alex Mercado.
Yeah.
I'm Mike Mercado. We'll see you on the next episode of The Good Brothers here on the Mercado Airwaves Network.
Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado2121. Mike is at Mike Mercado2333. And our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado21Alex. And Mike is at MMercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the office. I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.